And we are back with round 3 of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Croatian National Championship. And yeah, I'm unsure what we are heading into here. I know one of the players' decks as he actually requested to be feature matched, so we gave him the chance to be on his first, I would assume so, feature match. And he's playing Kashtira, and he's on the left. The player on the right, I'm unsure of what he's playing, but it should be quite an interesting match. So the opponents... Oh, one moment. Okay, we had a small incident that I had to sort out, but we're finally in game, and the Kashtira player won the dice roll and he decided to go first. So let's see what happens here. As he chooses to start with prosperity. Okay, pretty good start. And it seems that it's resolving. I would assume so. Okay. Let's see what he hits. Droll, Unicorn, Fenrir, Droll, Theosis, I would assume, and another Unicorn. A lot of, well, not a lot, but pretty good cards to choose from, and as he chooses Theosis. And let's see if Droll comes down here. No Droll. So he gets to proceed to play the game. He has Planet as well. Wow, okay. So I would like to know his hand here, just to know if it was correct to Prosperity before resolving Planet, but again, it's very hand dependent. It's not inherently wrong or inherently right in either case. So I'm not going to be judging or saying anything along those lines. So let's see what happens. Unicorn adds Birth, that resolves. As he already knows, his opponent has Theosis. He proceeds with Birth and proceeds to normal Fenrir. Okay, so he just opened a very strong hand. Like, this is just like, giga combo. So I guess let's see what he does here. I would assume he's just going to be playing uninterrupted. I don't think his opponent just isn't posturing like he has any sort of response. So let's see what happens here. He's asking him something. Okay. Something's going on. Okay, one moment. Well, okay, so they had an issue with the zone lockers, so okay. It just doesn't matter what they use as zone locks, but okay. So this just seems to be standard zone lock combo. Nothing very special that I can see happening here. Everything seems to be very standard so far. Yeah, nothing seems to be happening so far. His opponent just does not have any sort of response, as the first zone is indeed locked. As we go straight into our ice heart. Okay. Interesting choice. Let's see what happens next. Theosis on the rise. Okay. Special Zogre. Very standard. Theosis gets to outback Scareclaw. Arise gets to attach. Let's see if he plays any of the... Okay, he does not play the... Well, maybe he still does. It's not an excluded possibility. That he plays things like Gavura, something along those lines. Ogre's Big Bang. Fairly standard. Let's see how he chooses to proceed from here. Scareclaw Kashtira. Banish Big Bang. Yep. Big Bang Arise. Shangri-La. So far, so clean. Okay, Planet. Protect. He banished and Arise with Prosperity. That's interesting. Okay. I guess he's just assuming that he's not playing the mirror match, which is fair. Then he doesn't need 3 of them. 2 is mostly fine. Second Shangri-La. Birth bring back. Yep. Enter Diabolosis. It's just gonna be full zone lock here. Very fun and interactive to play against. And his opponent decides to show the action. And what is that? I cannot see clearly. That looks like Guardian Chimera. So he's playing Despia? I would assume so. Okay. So now he's gonna banish 4 cards. Yep. Just going to keep zone locking his opponent. Zeus as well. Okay, that's fair. I would assume he plays 2 Zeuses. Well, okay, I think this is just straight up. Unless there's like a Dark Ruler or something, this should just be Giga over. I don't really see what gets him out of here. I do believe that if he like wanted to go for this, he should have done a 5 spell trap zone lock, not a monster lock, but sure. Just sounds better. And that is... I did not see that. What is that? Foolish Burial, okay. So that is a Foolish Burial. Actually, I'm stupid. Dark Ruler doesn't even out the board. Okay, my bad. But yeah, some sort of board breaker. That's what I meant. I'm just a bit exhausted. Sorry, guys. Okay. So he sends Tragedy. Adds Aliber under a 5 zone lock. That is rather interesting, but I guess Allure. What is he looking for here? That is what I'm interested in. Does he play evenly? Something along those lines? He has to be playing it, right? Definitely has to be playing something along those lines if he plans to win this. He decides to chain Arise to Allure. Why? Oh, I actually see. Okay, so he gets a 4 zone lock from this. That is actually pretty not bad. Okay, man, he just decides to scoop. Okay. I'm not sure if I agree with not scooping earlier. I think yeah, I think his opponent should have just scooped sooner. Not show that he's on Despia. But okay. Maybe he was hopeful that there was something he could have drawn. And even if he like drew something, maybe Like after seeing his top deck, just should have said, yeah, it's over. But okay. He decided to play out, and that's respectful. As we go into game 2, I do wonder what kind of side pattern we will see from the Kashtira player, as Kashtira is a deck that is known for playing hand traps. So let's see what he decides to do. I mean, obviously there are multiple versions of Kashtira. There are like spell-heavy versions focused on board breakers. There's also like hand trap-ish versions. We've seen plenty of different versions of Kashtira have been topping lately, as it's been one of the most popular decks. So it's definitely interesting to see how players choose to build and adapt to the format. So let's see what our player here has decided to do. Also, it's interesting from the Despia player's side as well. How do you adapt after this? Just hope that you, I don't know, get a puppet lock. Puppet lock should be winning. So yeah. Hopefully everything goes well for him. And damn, those Master Duel sleeves are very nice, I'm not gonna lie. They look really cool. Okay. I would assume the Despia player will choose to go first here. But I could be wrong. Maybe he decides to go second for some reason, so let's see what happens. Okay. And starts to lure. Pretty strong start. Banishes Tragedy. Okay. That is very strong. As he proceeds with Brand Diffusion, gets ashed. That is rough. And that is... what is that? Oh, polymerization, okay. So that is an ad libitum and an albaz. Okay, enters, okay. Lebellion ad lib, okay. Discarding. What does he choose to discard? Super Poly. Interesting choice of keeping Super Poly. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of that. Get some Mary Jade. Oh, in defense position. Okay. Normal Aliber. Okay. Maybe he grabs Brandon in red here, I would assume. Unless there's something I'm missing. And he decides to grab Brandon in red, yes. It will be interesting to see if he decides to use Mirror Jade effect. I don't think he should. I don't think he has a reason to. I think Jade plus Chimera should be enough. But I could always be wrong. So let's see what happens. His opponent starts with Unicorn. That is a very strong start. I think you should just be mirror jetting that instantly. I'm not a fan of keeping that around. Should be gone instantly. As he just summons another Unicorn. Wow. And his opponent will just have to brand it in red. Now this is a lot of pressure, but should be fine. I think he can still get out of this. So he decides to fuse with... Well, he doesn't have anything in hand. Well, ad-lib, but will not be getting any additional draws. So let's see what he decides to do. Makes Dragostapelia. Okay. Interesting choice. Definitely odd to see, but I mean, we can just assume that everything is going well. Double Unicorn was a very, very strong start. That is just insanely morbidly strong. It just baits out everything perfectly. There's just it's so easy to play. But I don't think he has another way to extend through the Dragostapelia. I think the Stapelia is really bothering him right now, which is quite sad to see. But let's see what happens here. Could always be wrong. Seems to be a Scareclaw Kashtira. With a Theosis. Huh, okay. So he just gets to keep recycling the unicorns, and this Scareclaw Kashtira is actually huge. It gets to negate the field. And he also gets to crash it, which means Unicorn will be resolving, and then he just gets the bird and he just plays on from there. So actually really well played from the Kashtira player, but wow, he's actually really insanely lucky with the hands. So let's see what he decides to do. He decides to Dragostapelia and negate it. That's fair. I believe you do still proceed to crash. Crashing should still be the correct thing to do here. Yeah. Take the damage. Very well played by the Despia, by the Kashtira player. I don't think the Despia player misplayed it either. There was just not really much he could do. As Unicorn finally hits the field. I mean, it just has to be bird. You already resolved Theosis. I don't think there's anything else that you can add either way, so... Theosis, revive, go from there. But I'm not sure how far it actually gets him. Unless he has like another name in hand he can summon. But I doubt that's the case. If he does, then he just opened the Giga Nuts, but... we'll see. Okay, he's thinking about it, but it just has to be bird. Like, what else? I don't know why he's thinking so much. It has to be bird. Okay. I mean, I guess. Yeah, I guess he didn't use that effective Theosis. Okay, but I still think bird was. No. Theosis is correct. Yeah, okay. He's just better than me. I'm bad. this guy's just way better than me. That's why he's out there playing and I'm not. So he's just better. Fenrir, get Rice Heart, yeah, go from there. Still gonna be interesting to see what he can end on. He still needs to clear the board. That board is still rather problematic. It is not an easy board to deal with. Dragos Tapelia will be live. He has the double send from Mirror Jade. There's a lot of stuff still happening in the game. Tragedy still being able to set. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Fenrir adds another Fenrir. Why? Why? I mean, sure. I guess he's just hoping to survive. Dark Arms? Okay. So, if this was the line he decided to go for, maybe Bert was better. Just for follow-up reasons. Pops Mirror Jade. Okay, Mirror Jade effect. Okay. Okay. Interesting to see. I wonder what he will be setting here. Probably just a brand fusion straight up. Yeah. Goes straight for the brand fusion. Makes perfect sense. I don't see anything else that has nearly as much value as branded fusion here. So yeah. Perfect choice. And I do believe this game could be winnable for the Despia player, unless there's another Ash in the Kashtira player's hand. And he seems to be playing pretty confidently, so I would assume so. Wow, no way. What was that hand, man? He just drew the nuts. Holy moly. Oh my god, he actually had such an insane hand. I mean, let's see if there's a way out. There has to be something, right? Yeah, Baron red. Good. Well played. Straight into Chimera. Hope he draws something. He really needs to draw something here. I'm not even sure like what kind of Despia build he's playing. It seems to be like some draw power turbo. So I'm not even sure what he can draw into realistically. Branded Fusion got stopped. He resolved Branded in red. Maybe Poly with like an Albaz, but like where does that lead you? I mean, I guess Poly Albaz gets everything, but still, it's... let's see. Yeah, Poly Albaz, best case. Let's see if he plays any of the traps. I would assume not, since it's the like turbo heavy build, but post side maybe he does. And no, he does not. Goes for lost. As he did draw the poly. Really nice. Okay. Goes for the mask. Did he not already resolve tragedy? Oh, that's from Lost. Okay, okay. Yeah. That is indeed from Lost. I just realized Lost was on the field. That is my bad. I seem to be a bit branded Lost. Okay. Albion. Sends opening. Yeah, this just seems to be draw heavy turbo. Just gas. I'm not sure if this does enough though. Hope he draws something useful. Literally. Just pray. And yeah, we know the Kashtira player has a Fender in hand, so wow, that is a card in hand, and that has to be engine. It just has to be engine. Like I think the Kash player by now can assume that like everything is just engine, 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 primarily engine. And this Masquerade is definitely not going to be burning enough. But okay, let's see what happens. We have to have some faith, right? So let's see what happens. Okay. I believe he will just be trying to out the mask with the Fenrir. And that is exactly what he seems to be doing. Or no, he just decided to play through it. Okay, that's also fair. That's also fair, yeah. I think both choices are completely fine. I don't think either or is better than the other. Gets another Scareclaw Cash. Makes sense. I think he has a Theosis engrave, so good play. Interesting to see that he decided to play 2 Scareclaw Cash. That is definitely something to keep in mind here. I mean, I think Small Rise could have also done the same thing, but I guess this is fine as well. So he goes for Theosis. I think he only has Unicorns banished. Yeah. Now, do you tribute summon Unicorn here? Where does that lead you to? Unicorn, Bird. Depends if you draw another name. It really depends what he top decks for turn. I'm not sure if normal Unicorn gets you anywhere. He attacks Chimera. Okay. One moment. I think we have a situation here. One moment. Nah, I think everything is fine. I just misread something. One moment. Okay, we're back. Everything is fine. We just had a small ruling procedure. Let's see what he decides to do here. A lot is going to be relying on his top tick here. And he does decide to tribute summon Unicorn. Yeah, makes sense. Gets the bird. I would assume he... I mean, bird is genuinely just good. So, no matter what, it's a good choice here. So what does he decide to do? I would assume it's just Shangri-La. I think Shangri-La is more than fine. I don't think you have to be scared of the Owlbear. I don't know why he's hovering over Big Eye. I think Shangri-La is completely fine. I don't think there's a better choice unless I'm missing something. I don't see the point of this. Why? Does he really want Donor? Donor... Clear? Lost? Why? No, yeah, that doesn't... Wasn't Shangri-La just fine here? Or am I tripping? Like, Shangri-La get Fenrir, just, you're okay. No matter what happens, you should be fine. I don't see a reason why this Big Eye was necessary. Okay, as he decides to revive Mask. Tragedy sets fusion. And better have a third dash. He better have a third dash. There's no Ash, so I think this game just goes to the Despia player. I think from here on out there's too much advantage with Lost already being on field and then Bert not being able to trigger. Also Bert just cannot trigger as there's just no Kashtira monster on the field. So yeah, I think it's way too much advantage from this point. As yeah, the Cash player decides to scoop it up. I think maybe if he went for Shangri-La there was like a world where he maybe lives, but I'm unsure on that. I'm also trying to think if like a line with small rise changes anything, but I don't think so. I think everything was played correctly and fine. I don't think there were any issues in either player's play. The Big Eye in the end didn't even end up mattering, so everything is fine along those lines. So let's see what they end up deciding to do. So let's see, like, I just assume that like the Cash player just gets to full combo again, as we have not seen any hand traps from the side of the Despia player, and if he plays anything I would assume it's just board breakers, so he will need a like a spear mode or something to just clear himself. But again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he just didn't draw any. Guess we'll find out. Guess we will find out. Let's see. As we're piling up here. I wonder if he's playing more than 40 cards. Probably is. When he's piling 6, I would assume so. Perhaps 42, maybe more. Let's see. Starts with Planet. Pretty good. Planet is always a good opening. I would assume he just gets Unicorn here. Unless he has everything, then he just gets Small Rise, but let's see. Gets Unicorn, of course. Gets Drolled. Okay, that is interesting. I don't think it's necessarily... Is it correct? I mean, yeah, it's fine. Doesn't matter. Let's see if he can play around it though. No, set one. Or Small Rise. Let's see. He's posturing like it's Small Rise. I would assume so. Is it really Small Rise here? Or is he looking to normal a hand trap to make Baron? Ibli. Okay. What are you making? Donor and then what? Yeah, but... Okay. Donor, sure. Now what? I'm wondering why he... Does he have Bird? Now, if he has Bird, this is really good. No, he... What just happened? I'm not really sure what the point of this was. Does he know something I don't know? Shift. Okay. Okay, but what was the point of this? Why not just normal Ibli? Give him Ibli, shifter. Like, what? I'm not quite, or like just do nothing, just shifter and like live. Not quite sure what the point of this was. Yeah, he crashes. Okay. I guess he just did it to get to live a turn, but I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of how this turned out. Because the same sequence could have been achieved if you just normally made link rebo, shifted, just, I don't know. What is he fusing with this? What? Really? What? No way. What? Are they both Earth? Didn't know Donor was Earth. I thought Donor was dark. Oh, guess he is, yeah. My bad. Definitely thought that card was dark for some reason. Just looked dark. But that is very crazy now. Alba's Tragedy, yeah. Also, why didn't he start with Shifter? He just didn't respect Droll? Like, he could have went Chainlink on Planet, Chainlink to Shifter. I'm so confused. There were so many ways to play this better. Like, he did not need to get legit castrated by Droll for no reason. I don't think this was played out optimally. But, okay. I digress. I guess because he just saw the Ibli, he just assumed that the best way to play it was just to not shifter. But when your hand is like Scareclaw, Unicorn, Planet, like, I mean, come on, like, you don't actually need to just play with Ibli. Like, you don't have to do that. You can do other things. As he seems to have entered Dragostapelia. Okay. Sure. That's fine. Set one pass. That is a pretty good board. And yeah, I don't think the Cash player can beat this. He needs Bert plus... Yeah, nah, that's game. GG's. And thank you for tuning in.